Addition of vectors. How we can add the vector? If there are large number of vectors, then by which method we can add them? So first of all, you have to know about how the vectors are represented. When you have to represent the vector, you just need to draw an arrow. If I suppose that there is a vector which is 2 meters, then just draw a straight line which is 2-meter length and there also a arrowhead. This is the complete representation for the vector. When you have to draw the vector, you just need to draw a arrow whose length basically showing the magnitude of that quantity, and this arrowhead basically shows the direction of that vector because the vectors have magnitude, unit and direction. So the vectors are represented by an arrow whose length indicates the magnitude and the arrowhead shows the direction of the vector quantity. So how we can add the vector and which term is used when you are going to add the vector? The sum of the vectors can be represented by a single vector, and this vector is basically called as the resultant vector. Suppose I say that there are two vectors A and B, and both of these are added up to give a vector C. I can simply say that C vector is equals to vector A plus vector B. So this vector is basically the sum of the two vectors A and B. C is called the resultant vector. So how you can define the resultant vector? You can simply say that the vector having the same effect as the sum of all the vectors to be added. Such vector is basically called as the resultant vector. It is given here. A resultant vector is the one that has the same effects as the sum of all the vectors to be added. Next we see that by which methods the vectors are added. So there are two methods to add the vector. First is graphical method and the second one is by calculation. The resultant vector can be determined graphically as well as numerically. Numerically or by calculation. We see both of these methods one by one. First of all, here is the graphical method. When you are given two vectors, let's suppose there are two vectors A and B. Vector A is 2 cm and the vector B is 4 cm. Then you need to find out their sum by graphical method. So you need to follow the following step. First of all, you need to create a scale. A scale that shows all the length and the angles drawn correctly by using the pencil, ruler and protractor. Then you have to follow the following steps. First, create a scale drawing with all lengths and the angles correct by using the sharp pencil, ruler and protractor. Sharp pencil, ruler and protractor, all of these things are basically used to draw the angles and the length correctly. Follow the given steps to perform calculations of the vector on graph. Step 1. Choose a scale that is appropriate for the page. So you have to choose the appropriate scale that is suitable for the page. If I say that the page here, it has a dimension 10 times 10. So you don't need to choose a scale that is larger than 10 centimeter. It should be smaller than this. So you just need to choose the scale that is appropriate for the page. Next, draw other two vectors that you are going to add it. They should be right angle to each other. Means that if one vector is horizontal, the other should be vertical, so that the angle between both of these is 90. When the angle between both of these factor is 90, these are basically called at right angle. Make sure to draw the vectors at right angle to one another. Then you need to complete the rectangle. Draw the resultant vector diagonally from the origin. So you need to complete this rectangle first of all. Make the projection of vector A here and the B on the other side. This is a complete rectangle. Now you have to draw the diagonal line. This is the diagonal line. It would be the resultant vector in this case. Measure the length of the resultant vector carefully and also use the scale to calculate the magnitude of that resultant vector. Make use of the protractor to measure the angle. You can use the protractor to measure the angle. So here you can add easily the vectors. We will see it later. First of all, let's go to the example and the other method as well. So here is the question. You can see there are two vectors mentioned. One vector is 3 Newton and the other is 4 Newton. Two forces of magnitude 3 Newton and 4 Newton are acting on a body as shown in the figure. What will be the resultant of these two forces? So you know that force is a vector quantity. So here the forces are given. One force of magnitude 3 Newton while the other is 4 Newton. And the direction is also shown here for both of these forces by this arrowhead. Now you need to find out the resultant of both of these forces. Again, we will use the first method, which is graphical method. So first of all, we are going to find out the length of the resultant vector by graphical method. Here you have to follow the same steps. So here you can see, I draw the vectors to the appropriate scale. First of all, choose the scale. Here I suppose that 1 Newton is equals to 2 centimeter. First force is 3 Newton and the second force is 4 Newton. Just multiply these forces with 2 to convert into centimeter according to this graph. So there would be 6 centimeter and here is 8 centimeter. So both of these forces are shown here. Here, according to the given diagram, force F1 is basically the horizontal force. That's why I draw it on a horizontal scale, and one box is basically equals to 1 centimeter. That's why here will be total 6 boxes in first force and the total 8 boxes in the second force. Next, you have to complete the rectangle. I draw the projection of the force 1 horizontally on the other side, while the projection of the force F2 vertically on the other side. Then it basically becomes a rectangle. Next, you need to draw the diagonal line. This line, it is basically the resultant vector. The resultant of the forces is here a diagonal line, which is represented by the R, and it makes an angle theta horizontally. Now you need to take the scale and measure the length of that resultant vector. It is the magnitude of the resultant force. After that, by using the protractor, you can measure that angle theta. When you measure this angle theta, it would be the direction of the force. So I can simply say here, by using the vector addition graphical method, you find out the resultant of the two forces F1 and F2. Just find out the magnitude and direction because force is a vector quantity. So this theta is basically tell you about the direction. at which angle the force is with respect to the horizontal. So going back to the solution, by following the above steps, draw the diagram accordingly. Consider a scale that 2 cm is equals to 1 Newton. So here you have to consider the scale that 2 cm is equals to 1 Newton. After drawing the diagram, by using the scale, the value of the resultant force comes to be 10 cm. R is equals to 10 cm. So this is the magnitude. According to the chosen scale, as 2 cm is equals to 1 Newton. So how many newtons are in 10 cm? It would be of course 5 Newton. You just divide it with 2. It means that the resultant force is 5 Newton, which is given here. By using the protractor, angles comes to be 53 degrees horizontally. It means that the resultant force is 5 Newton 53 degree from horizontal. So the resultant force is 5 Newton and 53 degree from the horizontal. In this way, you can find out the resultant of the vector by graphical method. So here is vector addition simulation. Let's open this. This is also available in your account. You can practice from here. So the two vectors A and B, you are going to add this vector. I suppose that the first vector is here 19.5 meters and the second vector B is 27.5 meter. Then both of these vectors are shown here. The angle for the vector A is 0 degree, while for the vector B is 68 degree. Let's say bringing it at right angle at an angle of 90 degree. Now the vector A and B, both of these are right angle to each other. The dotted line here basically showing the rectangle, the complete rectangle. After that you need to draw a diagonal line which is shown by the black arrow. This would be the resultant vector in this case. So angle that this vector make with horizontal is also given, which is 54.66 degrees. When you change the length of the vector A and B, means that you are going to change the vector magnitude. Then accordingly the angle as well as the resultant vector changes. So in this case, the sum of the vector A and B is 65.75 meter at an angle of 50.86 with positive x-axis. In this way, you can easily check the resultant of the two vectors. So this is a second method that how you can find out the resultant vector by using the calculation. Let's back to the calculation method and see the steps that you need to follow. This is a second method, which is the vector addition by calculation. So how you can add the vector by calculation method? In this method, the diagram is still essential, but it doesn't need to be exactly to the scale. Like here we don't need to use the scale. Here we use head to tail rule. Head to tail rule is basically the rule that is used to find out the addition of the vector. So according to this rule, draw the first vector and add the second vector in the first vector in such a way that the tail of the second vector coincide with the head of the first vector. What does this mean? If I suppose that there are two vectors A and vector B. So you are going to find out the sum of these vector A plus B. When you draw any vector here, this is basically tail of that vector, while the other side is the head of that vector. So you have to add the two vectors in such a way that the tail of the second vector will coincide to the head of the first vector. So let me draw here first vector A, and I have to draw the vector B, which is a second vector, such that the tail of the second vector, this one, will coincide to the head of the first vector. So the vector B comes here because this is the tail of the vector B and it's the head of the vector A. Then next, the resultant vector is drawn from the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector. The direction of the resultant vector is basically from the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector. It would be from this point to here. This is a resultant in this case. So this method is basically the vector addition by calculation. You just need to follow here head to tail rule, which is that draw the two vectors according to the given scale in the question. Then add the second vector in the first vector in such a way that the tail of the second vector will coincide to the head of the first vector. The resultant vector is basically drawn in such a way that its tail will coincide at the tail of the first vector and its head will coincide at the head of the last vector. So in this way you can add a large number of vectors. Here I only consider the two vectors A and B, but a large number of vectors can be drawn in this case. Next we see the example related to that, how the vectors are added by calculation. The same example is here. There are two forces, 3 Newton and 4 Newton. Both of these are drawn to the appropriate scale. You need to find out the resultant of these forces by calculation method. So let's go to the calculation method. Here you can see this is the answer and the explanation of the question when there are two vectors 3 Newton and 4 Newton. Both of these are right angle to each other and you need to find out their vector addition. So let's go to the diagram. There is a first vector which is 3 Newton and it's horizontal. The tail and the head of this vector is also shown. Next I have to draw the second vector in such a way that the tail of the second vector will coincide to the head of the first vector. At the end, when I have to draw the resultant vector, it will pointing from the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector, which is given here. It's the resultant vector. So this vector also makes an angle theta horizontally. This actually shows the direction of that vector. Here you can see it's a right angle triangle. You can find out the resultant vector by using the Pythagoras theorem. So going back here, by drawing the forces vector according to head to tail rule, it becomes a right angle triangle. Right angle triangle looks like that. There should be one angle which is equals to 90 degrees. For that we use the Pythagoras theorem. The resultant vector can be easily calculated. So here this side is base, its hypotenuse and its perpendicular. According to the Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square is basically equals to base square plus perpendicular square. Here hypotenuse is r, which is a resultant vector. So r square is equals to f1 square, the square of the first force, plus the square of the second force. F1 is 3 and F2 is 4. So just put their value, you get the resultant vector, which comes to be 5 Newton. It means that the resultant of 3 Newton and 4 Newton force comes to be 5 Newton. Next, we also want to calculate the direction. In which direction the force is acting, means that the angle. So when I again make a right angle, this angle is 90 degree, but here is some angle theta. When you have to find out this angle, you use our trigonometric identity. Here tan theta. Tan theta is basically equals to perpendicular over base. This side is perpendicular and this side is base. So you just divide perpendicular with base, and when you have to find out the angle, it would be equals to tan inverse of perpendicular over base. Just put here value. Perpendicular is 4 and the base is 3. So there would be tan inverse of 4 over 3. You get the angle which comes to be 53 degrees. It means that the resultant force is at an angle of 53 degree with positive x-axis. So the resultant force is 5 Newton, 53 degrees from the horizontal. In this way, you can calculate the resultant vector by both of these methods, by calculation or by graphical method. Here, I suppose that you want to add the two vectors A and B. The vector A, here is given 3 vectors A, B and C. I select the vector A and put it here. After that, I take the second vector B and also put it here. First of all, see here the length of the vector A and B. A is 5.0 meter and here angle is 0 degree. It means that it is completely horizontal. The EX component means that the horizontal component of vector A is 5.0, while the vertical component, which is AY, it is equals to 0. It is because of the reason the vector A is completely horizontal. Now we will see the vector B. Again here, the vector B has length 5.0. The angle is 0, means that it's also horizontal. The horizontal component has length 5.0 while the vertical component BY is 0. When you find out the sum of both of these, you can see here the sum is represented by the vector S. Both of these are horizontal. It means that you just need to add the length of both of these vector A and B to get the resultant vector S. You can also check the values here. Vector A is 5.0, vector B is also 5.0, but the S vector, which is the sum of both of these, it's 10.0. So you just add here the vector A and B length to find out the resultant vector. Next we see the two-dimensional vectors when there is a vector which is not completely horizontal or vertical but it is at some angle. Or when there are two vectors, one is horizontal and one is vertical, then what would be their resultant? So let's start this. I suppose that there is a vector A and its length is given here 10.0. I change the angle and I suppose that it's completely horizontally. Drag it just here. There is a vector A which is completely horizontal and its length is 10.0. Next, consider the other vector B. Drag it here and place it on the first vector. I suppose that it is at right angle, so it should be completely vertical. Like that. let's change its length. I suppose that its length is 15 meter. Then what would be its resultant vector? The resultant vector you can find out by this sum. This vector is showing the resultant of both of these. Like this vector is a resultant. Just drag it here. The sum of vector A and B is represented by the S. You can also check the values from here. The value of the vector A is 10 and the B is 15. The sum of the vector comes to be 18.0. And there is angle theta. You can also check it makes an angle theta 56.3 degree with positive x-axis. In this way you can simply add the vectors. So going back to the next slide. There is an exam style question. This question appeared in May-June 2019. So a boat starts moving across a river at velocity v perpendicular to the river bank. The boat encounters a current along the river of velocity u as shown. So there are two velocities mentioned, u and v. Which vector diagram shows the resultant velocity r of the boat? So there are four diagrams A, B, C and D. Which one of the following diagram is correctly represents the resultant velocity of the boat? So here actually you have to use head to tail rule. According to this rule, draw the first vector. If I suppose that u is a first vector, I draw here the first vector u, which is completely horizontal. Then I have to draw the second vector v in such a way that the tail of the second vector will coincide to the head of the first vector. So the second vector would be in this direction because it's in downward direction. After that you have to draw the resultant vector. It will pointing from the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector. So the resultant vector would be in this direction. It is the resultant vector. Second possibility is that if you consider that the first vector is v instead of u, then I draw the first vector v and add the vector u in this vector according to head to tail rule. So this would be the vector u. Then add them according to head to tail rule, draw the resultant vector. It will point from the tail of the first vector towards the head of the last vector. This would be the resultant in this case. So if I see that option A, here the first vector u is here and the second vector is here. But the tail of second vector is this one. It's not coinciding with the head of the first vector u. So this is incorrect. In the option B, again the vector u is given in horizontal direction, but the v tail is not coinciding with the vector u. The tail of the second vector v should be at this point, but it is not here. It means that it is incorrect diagram. We see the option C. Here the vector u is horizontally and the v is drawn correctly here. The tail of the second vector v coincide with the head of the first vector u. Then the resultant is also pointing from the tail of the first vector towards the head of the last vector. This is the direction of the resultant vector. So C is correct from here. We also check the option D. Here the two vectors u and v are drawn correctly, but the direction of the resultant is not correct. It will be from the first vector towards the last vector. So D is also incorrect from here. Only the correct option is C. Here is answer and explanation. According to head to tail rule, first draw the first vector and add the second vector in such a way that the tail of the second vector will coincide with the head of the first vector. Then the resultant vector is drawn from the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector. When you apply a head to tail rule according to the given situation, then the correct answer is C. Here this simulation is also related with the vector addition. You can also practice it. Here there are two vectors A and B. The vector 1, it is basically named as x. So if I suppose that I change the length of the first vector, which is shown by the red arrow, it's completely horizontal. So here its length is 4.60 meters. Then if I change the length of the second vector as well, the second vector is basically represented by the pink arrow, the blue vector showing the resultant of both of these vectors. So accordingly, when I change the length of the first vector or the second vector, the resultant vector also changes. It means that when you change the length of the first vector or the second vector, the resultant vector also changes. So instead of changing the length, I can also change the angle. So here it is given that the first vector is at 0 degree, while the second is at an angle of 90 degree. So instead of 90 degree, if you consider both of these to be horizontally, then again the length of the resultant vector increase. After that, if I say that the second vector is at an angle of 90 degree, that is right angle, in this case the resultant vector would be here. So you can practice it as well by changing the length of the first vector, changing the length of second vector, or either by changing the angle. The resultant of vectors will also change. Here is exam tips. In problems related to the vector addition, you have to solve these according to the specified method. If it is not specified in the question, then always prefer the method on which you have the strong grip. Graphical method is easier than the calculation if you know about the Pythagoras theorem. So it's up to you that which method you want to adopt, but always prefer the method on which you have the strong grip, because it would be easier for you in this way to solve the question. Today's lesson is ended. If you have any confusion, you can ask.